Welcome to Mastering MySQL with Michael Sinkolongo. In this section, we shall learn how to install MySQL Server. So to install MySQL Server, the first step you need to take is to go to your favorite search engine and search for the MySQL installer. In my case, my favorite search engine is Google. Therefore, I will type MySQL installer in the search bar. I select the first item in the search engine results. This will take me to the page where I can now download MySQL installer. On the page where you select the version of the installer that you want, you should select the latest version that's available for your operating system. In my case, I'm using Windows operating system. You can either select the web installer or the full installer. The full installer is usually bigger in size than the web installer. If you choose the web installer, you will need to make sure that you are connected to the internet while installing, because it shall be downloading files from the internet. Once you make up your mind about which version to install, click the blue download button. You will now be taken to a page where you can complete the download. On this page, you have an option of either logging into your Oracle account or simply downloading without logging in. So you can either log into your Oracle account to complete the download, or you can simply just start the download without logging into your account. So in my case, I will choose the option to just start the download without logging in. I will do so by clicking the link that says, "No thanks, just start my download." It is found at the bottom of the page. Clicking this link will promptly start the download. For me, I have downloaded software for downloading. Therefore, it captures the download and promptly starts it. Let me skip to the part where it completes the download. After your download completes, locate the installer and run it. Typically, the installer is downloaded to the downloads folder. So I'm going to run it by double-clicking it. So let me now wait for the installation wizard to load. Once the wizard completely loads, you will have the option to select what MySQL products you want to install. It also shows you what has already been installed, so I'm able to tell what products of MySQL have already been installed. So in my case, I have already installed my SQL Workbench. In part 2, I'll show you how to install my Workbench. It is a tool that we use to manage our MySQL database. Click the Add button. In the window that opens, that is the Available Products window, collapse the option for MySQL servers. This will show you the servers available for install. In this case, I find that MySQL Server version 8.0 is the only server available for install. So select the server and add it to the install list by clicking the add arrow in the middle. Adding it to the installation list will activate the next button. Please note that you can also add MySQL Workbench to the installation list so that you can install it along with the server. However, I will show you how to install my Workbench separately in part 2. Now you're ready to start the installation. The next window is going to show you the list of products that will be installed. Ensure that my SQL server is listed, and then click the execute button. This will start the installation. You can view the installation details if you want, or you can choose not to. It's fine. Once it completes successfully, you can tell this if you check that the green tick or the check appears against the item being installed. Now you're ready for the next part, which is product configuration. So once the installation completes, you're ready to configure the server. So what's going to happen is that the wizard is going to guide you through the configuration of the server. So if you're ready, click next button to start the configuration wizard. In this window, you're going to configure the type and network settings for the server. For the type of server, choose development computer. For the connectivity, usually the default settings work just fine, and I encourage you not to change anything here. In my case, however, the port number is marked with a red exclamation mark. This implies that I have another version of MySQL running and that the port is not free. I have MariaDB, which comes installed with XAMPP server. So this one is already running, it's already installed with my XAMPP server. So I can either stop the other version of the server or I can change the port number. To stop the currently running MySQL server, I need to open the XAMPP server control panel and stop MySQL server from there. Let me open it quick so that you see. You will see here that I already have a version of MySQL running on port 3306, which is a default port number for MySQL. However, I will not stop it because I'm already using it for a number of my projects. Instead, what I would do is that I will change the port of this new installation of the server to 3307 so that I can run both of them at the same time. I'm going to leave all other items unchanged and click next. In the authentication method window, you can choose the recommended method of using a strong encryption for authentication. However, you may face issues if you want to support some older applications or clients that need to use MySQL. In my case, I'm not sure if the apps I'm using are able to support this version of encryption yet. So I'll just choose the legacy authentication method. I don't want any problems. In order to access MySQL database management system, you need a user account. The default user is called the root. You need to set a password for the root user. So let me set the password for the root user. You have an option to add another user that can access the server. However, in our case, this will not be necessary for now. Let's just set the password for the root user and proceed. So MySQL is going to be installed as a Windows service. This means that it will be able to run in the background and will be started automatically at startup. That is when the computer starts. So if you want, you can choose a name for the service that it will be installed as. However, the default values should work just fine. So just click the next button to proceed. For the server file permissions, just leave the defaults here as they are and grant the server user and the administrator group that runs the Windows service their full permissions. Click next to proceed. So now we are ready to apply the configurations. In order to do so, just click execute and they will be applied. So if all goes well, you're going to see green ticks against all the configurations that we've just set up. In case of failures, you have the option to check the logs, that is by clicking the log tab, and correct any issues, then retry. When all the configurations pass successfully, click finish to complete the configuration. So we are now done, so click next and then finish. So that's pretty much it. We are done and you're now ready to use MySQL to do amazing things. If you have not installed Workbench, watch the next video and see how you can install MySQL Workbench.